they're recording that.
Yeah, they're recording, so you just crack on. We're not going to be getting on news,
but they got those
yeah,
all those interviews they got.
they're
Oh, here we go. Hi Maria.
How are you?
Oh, right,
Nice
how are
to
you?
meet you.
And you.
Yes, yes, we did, yeah.
Just
I'll
come
bring you
round
down here, please. Let's stand down here with you.
See how the wind.
Oh, sorry, mate. Beg your pardon. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry.
Have you come far?
Kirkdale.
Okay, not far. So
Okay,
ignore
just come
John,
round here.
and I'll just chat to the. Okay. Simple question. When you heard the news this morning, what did you think?
Well, at first I thought it couldn't be possibly true, but then I double checked, and then I realised it was true, and I was just like absolutely shocked. I mean, like 28 years old, he'd recently got married 2 weeks ago. It's just devastating news, and it just like proves to you how short life can be. And I just feel for his family right now, his mum and dad, his wife, and like all the Liverpool team and everyone at Liverpool. I just felt I had to come to be there here for them, like they've been there for us always, and it's just a total shock.
What did he mean to fans as a player, first of all?
Yeah, as a player, when he first joined, we all saw his like potential. I mean, he was like immediately he was scoring goals.
The high of winning the league just a few weeks ago, and that parade to this is a shows life, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, it does. Like we've gone from the highs to the lows. We've had the sad incident a few weeks ago, as you know, and it just seems to be one thing after another. And he will be very much missed by us all.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Right. So you might be, your friends might be.
So just check your name probably is
Jesus.
was that all going down live?
Yeah.
Right, so then we just need to set up a steady shot for this live shot stream now, and then we can get that done. Just check that not going.
Do you want the name of that other guy?
Yes, because he's the one name I haven't got.
Quite good.
What was his name?
Jack Rowan, Rowan, and he's gone, but he'll never walk alone. He's a really good second grab.
Okay, I think we've got loads now.
Yeah, they're good ones as well.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 women. So
Gary was good. Margaret was good. Jack was good. Matthew, they were all good. So.
tell whoever's on Sky there to rewind the picture that we on that fucking thing there, please. Come. Hey, for the shop, I got after security.
all members of the press to kindly work with us on this one and move to the grey line where you'll see my colleague Martin. All members of the press to move to that grey line for us, please. There is a reason we're asking you to do this, which will become apparent. So do that for us with your flag. Thank you. Members of the public, stay where you are. There's a reason we're doing it, so you need to move. Sir, could you move off, please, with your camera? Sir, could you move off, please, with your camera?
Excuse me, sir. Is it possible to go on the grass down there?
It's not at this time. No, sorry. There's a reason for it.
Later, would it be? I'll let you work it out.
There's a reason why we're doing what we're doing.
No problem, mate. No problem. Okay.
Yes, hello there.
Of Western Spain. The Spanish Civil Guard said the vehicle left the road, possibly due to a burst tyre on the A52 motorway in the municipality of Zamora. Well, a short time ago, Liverpool Football Club released a statement. It says the club have been informed the 28-year-old has passed away following a road traffic accident in Spain, along with his brother Andre. Liverpool Football Club will be making no further comment at this time and request the privacy of Diego and Andre's family, friends, teammates and club staff is respected as they try to come to terms with an unimaginable loss. We will continue to provide them with our full support. Well, his Portuguese teammate Cristiano Ronaldo also paid tribute, saying, "It just doesn't make sense. Just now we were together in the national team. Just now you had gotten married. To your family, your wife and your children, I send my condolences and wish them all the strength in the world. I know you will always be with them. Rest in peace, Diego and Andre. We will all miss you." Well, Wolverhampton Wanderers, the club he played for between 2018 and 2020, said, "We are heartbroken. Diego was adored by our fans, loved by his teammates and cherished by everyone who worked with him during his time at Wolves. The memories he created will never be forgotten. Our hearts go out to the family, friends and loved ones of Diego and his brother Andre. You will be truly missed and always remembered." Well, speaking a short time ago, the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, paid tribute to the star.
This is devastating news, and I'm sure I speak for everyone in saying our first thoughts are going to be with his family and his friends in particular. But there are millions of Liverpool fans, but also football fans, non-fans, who will also be shocked by this. I think Liverpool Football Club have just put a statement out, as I understand it, but it is devastating, and it is really important that we bear in mind just how difficult a period this will be for his friends and for his family.
Well, that was the Prime Minister a short time ago. This is the scene. These are the images that we are getting from Spain, not far from Zamora. The Guardia Civil released a statement not that long ago saying that the accident itself happened at 12:30 in the morning at kilometre 65 of the A52 motorway. This looks to be the area where it happened. They said that the vehicle left the road. Everything indicates a tyre burst while overtaking. As a result of the accident, the car caught fire and both people were killed. Pending completion of forensic tests, one of the deceased has been identified as Diogo Jota, the Liverpool FC player, and his brother, Andre Felipe. So these are the latest images that we have of the scene where the crash is believed to have happened. Well, Liverpool fans have been gathering around the club's stadium, Anfield, to pay respects with flowers and tributes. In the city centre, the flag on the town hall has also been lowered to half-mast as a mark of respect. Our chief North of England correspondent, Greg Milam, is at Anfield for us. And Greg, people continuing to arrive this morning to pay their respects.
Here coming to bring flowers, initially laying them actually next to the permanent memorial here to the Hillsborough disaster, where there are always fresh flowers. Since then, the club has provided buckets on opposite that area on a little grassy area, and you're right, ever since, and continuing now, fans coming here to lay flowers and just to reflect on the life and career. Someone who a few weeks ago was celebrating that Premier League title, the parade that filled this city and this area, and now dealing with this news, and many of them, of course, reflecting also that this is a very personal human tragedy as well for someone who has a newly married and with 3 young children, but reflecting also, I think, on that football career and what Diogo Jota did for this club as a player. Someone who's very vibrant, very attacking, someone who everybody has described having very little ego, being someone who's very approachable, very easy to get on with, and someone who brought great success to this club, not just that Premier League title, but FA Cups and League Cups as well. I spoke to a lot of those fans here this morning in their shock and their devastation about what had happened. This is what they said to me.
Absolutely gutted. There's not a word that I can think that's making me sad at the moment. It's just devastating, absolute devastation. For the player it was and is, it's just unbelievable news. I just can't think of anything else.
You don't know these people personally, but when you do lose somebody in this fashion, it's devastating. It's going to affect everybody. It's like losing somebody that's really, really close to you. And football pales into insignificance in times like this. He leaves 3 children, a wife, his brothers passed away with him, his poor mother and father, what they must be going through. I mean, it's just absolutely devastating. It's unbelievable.
Shocked, upset, didn't want to believe it, as I'm sure everybody, not just associated with Liverpool, but associated with football, wouldn't want to believe it either. Real sad day for Liverpool Football Club, for the city, for football in general.
We can bring you pictures now. As you can see, the Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, who actually was in Liverpool today to deliver a speech alongside Steve Rotherham, the Liverpool City Mayor, bringing flowers down to Anfield to join those many fans who have done the same this morning. This impromptu shrine to Diogo Jota that has been set up on a little grassy area outside the stadium. As I say, Angela Rayner had been speaking to an audience at a conference centre in Liverpool when that news was confirmed, and sending that shock throughout the city of Liverpool, and clearly wanting to be part of this tribute to someone who, as is very clear, was loved in this city for his football ability, but also his qualities as a person, and a person who they are mourning here. And as I say, Angela Rayner alongside Steve Rotherham, the Liverpool Metro Mayor, paying those, adding her tributes and her flowers to those many fans who have already come to Anfield and no doubt will continue throughout the course of the day to pay their tributes and reflect on that shock, that sense of shock that this club is feeling, that many fans are feeling.
What's happened over at night to Diego and his brother, and especially given he's recently married, he's got 3 very young children, and I think the whole world actually is really devastated and shocked by such a tragic end to, you know, someone who is well loved here in Liverpool, and I think the whole city is there to support his wife and children and his family.
Because it's just such a tragedy, isn't it? You know, when you're 28 years old, he literally only got married less than 2 weeks ago. Just absolute shocking.
It's heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking, and just shows how life events can change really quickly. And, you know, I'm absolutely devastated for his wife and his children and his family. I can't imagine what they're going through at the moment. My son's 28, and it just, you know, it's really shocking.
And you speak to people here, and, you know, he was like a family member, you know, for Liverpool fans, but not only shocked Liverpool fans, but football fans across the world.
Yeah, his life and his career had only just started. You know, he's done an incredible job here at Liverpool Football Club, one of their greatest strikers, and, you know, just getting married, having his young children, you know, looking forward to all the great things that he was going to do here and in his life, and it's just so heartbreaking and devastating for people who have, you know, woke up to the news this morning, and you know, it's hard. You know, I came here for local government conference, and then just to hear that sad news, and then I've been here and I've been over at Everton today, and just seeing the outpouring across the whole of the city is, you know, it's incredible. What our condolences are, and our thoughts today primarily are with Diego's family, his wife and his children. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we are, the Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, there reflecting, I think, what a lot of people feel here today, that sense of loss, that alongside the loss of a footballer and someone who was clearly successful in playing for Liverpool and bringing great success, but the loss of someone who is recently married, has a partner who's been with for a long time, and those 3 young children, the human tragedy, if you like, that many people will be reflecting on today, aside from the football, and certainly those fans who've come here today and laid those flowers and those tributes, very much echoing what Angela Rayner said just there.
And Greg, in Liverpool, the flag's flying at half-mast, and we've also heard that there's going to be a moment's silence before the Women's Euros games this evening as well.
Yeah, I think that we, as I say, we saw that reaction within really the first hour of that news being confirmed, and I think all of football, all of this city is trying to find the right way to reflect on this coming out of the blue, as things like this often do. Of course, a city and a football club that is well used to the cost of human tragedy and the pain that comes with that. They will find ways, I'm sure. The first team was due to return, some of them at least, next week for pre-season training. Those who are coming back, those who haven't been given extended leave. So the club itself is just gearing up for the start of a new season, a few weeks after the greatest thing that this club has done for a few years in winning the Premier League. So they will be looking for ways, no doubt, to reflect the career, to honour Diogo Jota and what he did for this club, and also to show support for his family. It was interesting talking to one season ticket holder here today who said that whatever happens now, in his words and those famous words of Liverpool fans, his family will never walk alone. The fans of this club, no doubt the club itself, will stand with Diogo Jota's family after what has happened and in the months and the years to come. But I think everyone trying to work out the best way to honour him, to pay respects to his career, but also that loss that his family is feeling right now.
Yeah. And he leaves this club, you know, with a Premier League title in his back pocket. I mean, it just seemed that life could not get any better for this young man.
Yeah, one of the fans talked about that it was only a few weeks ago when this plaza here was thronging with fans as part of that parade, that extraordinary parade through the city of that first Premier League title for a number of years, certainly since the one in COVID, when fans weren't able to celebrate, and the significance of that victory for this club and for his fans, and the part he played, the vital goals that he scored in securing that Premier League title. But he won the FA Cup, he won the League Cup as well. Liverpool got to the Champions League final in the time that he was here. So a successful period under Jurgen Klopp and now Arne Slot as manager, and him a pivotal part of that. He had some injuries last year, but a pivotal part of that and a significant player. And at 28, in the prime of his career, we should also remember, of course, he came to England to play for Wolves, and the club there have issued a statement as well. It was there that he attracted the attention, getting Wolves into the Premier League. It was there that he attracted the attention of Liverpool and that £40 million move here in 2020. So it goes beyond Liverpool, of course, and the clubs he played for outside of England. Football has lost a figure who was very popular, aside from his abilities, very popular as a man, and of course wider society will reflect on the loss of someone at 28 years old, and his brother, we should say, alongside him, and the human tragedy of that.
Absolutely. Greg, thanks very much for that now. Let's just remind you of the latest images that we have. We've got images from the scene of this accident in the early hours of the morning. And this is in northern Spain. This is the A52 motorway. And this is the scene of the crash. You can still see some of the damage to the roadside verge there where that crash happened. It happened at around 12:30 this morning at a place described as kilometre 65 of the A52 motorway, very close to Zamora, when this car that they were travelling in left the road. The police say everything indicates a tyre burst while overtaking. You can see the rubber marks on the road there going from the outside lane across the inside lane. As a result of the accident, the car caught fire, both people were killed, and they obviously are waiting still forensic identification, but they're very confident that it is Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Felipe. They're the latest images that we have from the scene.
Sky, just a quick love, Sky.
That's Greg.
I don't know what to ask, I don't know what to say. What are your feelings today?
Like most people, you know, the first thing you do is to check whether it's a genuine story, and then the devastation of the reality that such a young lad has been lost, such a talented lad has been lost, not just to football, but to his family and his parents, and certainly those three little kids that now are without a father. So you look at it as a human tragedy rather than a football issue.
How do you think the city reflects on him? How do you think the city will remember football fans and non-football fans on what he's done, bearing in mind a few weeks ago the euphoria here?
Yeah, and I think what you're going to have is football fans from one side, from the Liverpool or perhaps from Wolves or other clubs that he's played for, remembering the workhorse that he was and the fantastic footballer and the goals that he scored. But also you'll have the football family and those people who've been on the receiving end of that, acknowledging the real talent of a young lad like him, and such a loss to football, but such a massive loss to his family.
This club, of course, this city knows about those human tragedies as you describe it, and I guess ultimately this is a family that's lost so much in two brothers and so much more as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that should be all of our first thoughts, shouldn't it? You know, it's more of the human nature of this tragedy rather than what it means to football. Football will go on, it always does, but for that family, I mean, how do you get over the devastation of losing two sons, for instance, and three little kids losing a father?
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Times probably when we all come together, the football family really, and just cannot believe it. The news today, so sad for everybody involved, but especially his family and his wife, and obviously, the three wonderful children that they've got. Devastating for all involved, of course, yeah.
A lot of us know what he brought the footballing world, but what was he like as a person, Jamie?
Well, I mean, in the role now, obviously, I'm associated with the club for playing in the past. But I mean, I don't know the current players particularly well, so I won't pretend to know Diogo, as I said, particularly well, but he lived really close to us. He was only basically a few hundred yards around the corner from us, but kept himself to himself. Yeah, he came across as probably not the typical way that maybe some people portray Premier League footballers. He seemed very quiet, very humble, real family man. Went about his business, did his business on the pitch, very quiet, as I said, and humble off the pitch, and just seemed like a really great guy, great footballer. But at the moment it's not really about that. So it is really difficult to find the words, what to say, about him. But I think more importantly, right now, it's not really about the football or Liverpool, if you like. It's about certainly his family right now, and what his parents are going through, and his lovely wife and 3 lovely kids.
Yeah, and they are at the front and heart of everything, really. Thoughts with his wife. He was married just less than 2 weeks ago. His 3 very young children as well, and of course parents who've lost 2 sons. He passed away in that car crash alongside his brother. So of course we think of him as a family first. A family man first, but as a footballer, and what I guess he meant to the fans as well. We're seeing a lot of them lay wreaths and flowers. They're hearing the news, and down at Anfield, it's eerily quiet round there. It's unfortunately a club that has suffered imaginable tragedy over the years as well, and have now lost one of their own at just 28 years old. And you can't imagine what the fans must be feeling.
Yeah, listen, as I said before, I don't think it's just Liverpool fans. They will feel a little bit more maybe than others, understandably so. But I think the whole of football comes together in situations like that. And you just think of it, as I said, that, there's some of that he's had. He's probably coming into the prime of his career. He's just won, the league title with Liverpool, the Nations League of Portugal. He's married 2 weeks ago. And I think it probably just shows us all, doesn't it, how quickly life can change. And you think, what if somebody's had, what a time he's had, him and his family. Then you get this, devastating news that his parents, his wife, friends, and family have had in the last sort of few hours or so. You can't even comprehend it, really. And it probably makes us all step back a little bit, and take things in about how important or how unimportant certain things are. Maybe football in itself is really. And we all get, at times, myself included, we get passionate about the game, we get heated about the game, but at times like this, you just think, why, what for? And you think of this, what's happened to him, what it's going to mean for the people around him.
And of course, they'll begin the defence of their Premier League title without him in their side, having celebrated that, of course, last season. They'll have that.
Start speaking. I'll start pulling out. Give me 5 seconds to get out. I'll give you. Look for me, Greg. I'll give you a nod when you're in.
And you can see the tributes continue to grow here on this area just to the side of Anfield. The scarves, the shirts, as I say, the flags. Many of them reflecting the fact that it was only a few weeks ago that this area was the scene of that extraordinary parade, and this plaza here very much the centre of that, as fans gathered to celebrate that Premier League trophy. Diogo Jota, of course, a key part of that squad. Scores
side's going to be better, isn't it? No, it's a bit too. Or is it? We just look at the outside. Well, I'm from Granada reporters over there.
I'll be reporting from Anfield Stadium here in Liverpool, where fans have been coming all day to leave tributes and flowers for Diogo Jota. They are stunned by the news about a player they worshipped and idolised. talk now to Beth Lindop, who's Liverpool Football Club correspondent for the ESPN network. Beth, thanks very much for being with us. What's your reaction to this absolutely devastating news? One of the brightest stars in the Premier League and in this club has suddenly been killed in this crash. He was a brilliant player, wasn't he? Just talk to us a bit about what a prolific goal scorer he was. I mean, not the tallest player, but he scored an awful lot of headers. He was very clever in the box. Shocked tributes from Cristiano Ronaldo, amongst others. His teammate, but he was a big player for the national team.
the emotion, the devastation as you enter the grounds. And it really is truly heartbreaking to see. I'm seeing a lot of school children after they finish school coming in now with their families, paying their respects, a sea of red shirts as well. And you just feel the real impact it has on these people, on these families as such. Like, I'm seeing children in their uniforms coming straight from school thinking, I need to be paying my respects, coming in their school PE kits, coming straight from sports day. And you just really feel that they've really been rocked by this devastating tragedy. Seeing the sea of red behind me, the floral tributes, the balloons, you see, as you say, he did have the number 20 on the back of his shirt, so there is a big balloon display behind me of the number 20. And yeah, just I think people today just want to be gathering around here just to sort of bring that sense of community and togetherness to try and heal what's happened here. So what we know is that it happened shortly around after midnight, around midnight Spanish time. We had reports that a car had crashed and 2 people were killed in the impact. Reports then started to follow that it did name Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva as well. And basically what we're hearing is that one of the tyres burst and it was a Lamborghini that then burst into flames. Of course, and I think what's so poignant with Liverpool is a football club that has been rocked by various tragedies over the years. So for the fan base, it's really is they've had to go through a lot and they've had to come together and try and heal those scars, heal those wounds, and that's what makes the fan base so emotional as well as so special. That it's not for them just watching 11 players on the pitch win or lose every week. It's about inheriting that history and that heartbreak, and you kind of get that sentiment as you come into Liverpool, and it extends beyond the fan base for Liverpool, but even Evertonians across Merseyside and even across the UK and the world. Thank you. Yeah.
want to do some more GBs, 5 minutes worth, but can I go live and they have them record it in so they can edit it straight away? Please. It's Anfield GB. I'm going to do it live, so if I can just play it out and have them record it, that'd be amazing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Awesome, yeah, please, thank you. Thank you. Dude, I'm going to have, there's been a bit of a mix-up with my GVs from earlier that weren't played across to the so... No? No? They're going across now, but they haven't started, they've only just started, okay? Yeah, yeah. So can I send those, there's fucking way too much there, right? So I'm just going to get some GVs that are now, about 5 minutes going live. Can you get them across on record, and I'm just going to shoot it as it is. Yeah, it'd be amazing. Yeah, yeah. Is that alright? Oh. Can I go on a different one? Can you keep feeding? No? I mean, I would like those GVs as well as these to go in, do you know what I mean? If possible. I don't want to ditch them because they will be useful. There's good stuff there, but I'm just going to give them emergency stuff that we get. Keep that going.
Just been covered by
Shocked Liverpool fans gathered at Anfield Stadium. Our chief North of England correspondent, Greg Milam, has this report.
This is the last that Liverpool fans saw of Diogo Jota on the Anfield pitch, lifting the Premier League trophy, a celebration forever now, the most poignant of memories. Just a month later, his life ended here on a Spanish road. Police are investigating how the Lamborghini he was in with his brother came to crash and burst into flames in the early hours. It is only 10 days since Jota married his longtime partner. The couple had 3 young children. Yes to forever, his new wife had posted. And at the place where they once worshipped him, now they came to mourn, where a few weeks ago thousands had come to parade in celebration of that Premier League success, now growing tributes. The club's short statement said it was devastated at what it described as an unimaginable loss, a loss felt intensely by those fans.
The way he played football with a smile on his face all the time, he was the epitome of enjoying what you do. Every time he went out on the pitch, he gave us all for us. And
things are more important than football, and this certainly is more important than football.
It's heartbreaking, and I just can't describe it. It's hurting inside. I know he's not family, but he is family.
The Deputy Prime Minister was among those who came to lay flowers.
It is absolutely heartbreaking and just shows how life events can change really quickly. And, you know, I'm absolutely devastated for his wife and his children and his family. I can't imagine what they're going through at the moment.
And from football and beyond, there have been so many tributes. Prince William, the patron of the Football Association, wrote, "As part of the footballing family, I'm deeply saddened to hear of the passing of Diogo Jota and his brother. Our thoughts are with his family, friends and all who knew him." Jurgen Klopp, the manager who brought Jota to Liverpool, wrote that he was heartbroken. Diogo was not only a fantastic player, but also a great friend, a loving and caring husband and father. "We will miss you so much," he said. Liverpool's players will return for pre-season training in the coming days. There are those who would like to see Jota's number 20 shirt retired as a lasting tribute to his contribution to the club. This is a football club and a city that knows how tragedies go way beyond football. However Diogo Jota is honoured, he is gone with the gratitude of millions, as a man who, in their eyes, will always be a champion. Greg Milam, Sky News, Liverpool.
Well, our national correspondent Tom Parminter is at Anfield for us. And Tom, just give us a sense of the scene there this evening.
Diogo Jota played for many clubs.
There's been a feeling of numbness at Anfield and throughout Liverpool through the course of today at the sheer disbelief at the suddenness of that news. A footballer who was in the prime of his career, the prime of his life, with all that happening for him in the course of the last couple of months. Success with the Portugal national team, success with Liverpool winning the Premier League and celebrating his marriage with his 3 young children just 11 days ago. We've seen a lot of children here in the last hour or so, particularly bringing bunches of flowers, often still dressed in their school uniform, coming and no doubt grappling with that sense of shock and disbelief, having perhaps been told that news at the school gates by parents and then coming down here with shirts, scarves and tributes. And among this growing sea of flowers that you can see behind us, you have scarves and shirts from a range of different clubs, of just people across football touched by the suddenness of this horrific news. There's shirts from Leeds United, from Manchester United, from Borussia Dortmund, from across the footballing sphere. And really it is something that has led to so much outpouring of shock and disbelief that one of their absolute heroes, someone who's made a huge impression at this club in the last 5 years since he joined from Wolverhampton Wanderers, someone who wasn't always a regular starter, but someone who always made a big difference when he came on the pitch, someone who was one of the best finishers of a goal in the Premier League and so often would pop up with that vital touch, the vital breakthrough in a game, whether he'd started or whether he was on the bench. We've heard tributes too from the greats of this game, Cristiano Ronaldo, his teammate in the Portugal national side, and Leo Messi as well as Real Madrid, Ajax, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, all sharing their thoughts. And a few of his teammates here at Liverpool starting to share their tributes and memories of Diogo Jota, including Dominic Szoboszlai, who plays alongside him in the attack. Words cannot describe how heartbroken and devastated we are, he wrote. Your smile, your love for the game will never be forgotten. We will miss you so much, and you will stay with us forever on and off the pitch. Our thoughts and prayers are with your family. Rest in peace, brother. That was the message from Dominic Szoboszlai, and no doubt the club will in the coming days be paying further tributes to their number 20, who was so adored by the fans, who went out of his way to connect with so many of the fans at this club, and was a true professional, someone who just got on with the game diligently and wasn't in the headlines for the wrong reasons. He was a footballer who clearly loved this city. He loved the game that he played, and all of that has tragically been snatched away.
Liverpool Football Club says they are devastated by the unimaginable loss of Jota, who'd been with the club since 2020. Joining me now is Theo Squires, who covers Liverpool Football Club for the Liverpool Echo. Good evening. Thank you very much for being with us. And, I mean, this was a player at the peak of his career in so many ways and enjoying the best of times, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a remarkable 6 weeks, 8 months for Diogo Jota. It was only at the end of April where he was celebrating winning the Premier League title with Liverpool, and then all the celebrations with the fans, and that basically went on for a month. Going into the summer, we've seen him win the Nations League with Portugal, and only 2 weeks ago he was getting married to his childhood sweetheart. Liverpool, they're due back for pre-season this weekend, Monday, and this is going into a season where they're looking to defend the Premier League title, go strong in the Champions League, having already had a very strong transfer window. But it's also a World Cup year as well. So this was supposed to be the start of another remarkable year for Diogo Jota, where he could challenge for the biggest honours at club level, international level. And it's just so shocking to see that taken away in such devastating circumstances this morning.
Theo, what was he like? Did you get to know him during your work?
We've interviewed him a couple of times, our team, and he's just so likeable. I think what you see from him on the pitch with supporters is what he's like in person, what he's like with everyone, really. He's always got this big beaming smile on his face. He's not a massive talker. He won't give you lengthy answers, but he'll give you really well thought out answers. He really considers what he's about to say. And he is just a genuinely likeable, popular guy. He's very down to earth. You can see that from how he is on the pitch, how he celebrates every goal with this beaming smile. And it's tragic that we'll not see that again. Like, one of the lasting memories from Liverpool winning the Premier League for me is him leading the serenading of his own chant in front of the Kop, swinging a scarf above his head. Yeah. And we can go in the footage you can see now of him. I think it's Luis Diaz behind him. It was 2 years ago when Luis Diaz's parents were kidnapped in Colombia, and it was Jota who led the tributes on the pitch. He scored, I think, against Nottingham Forest, and he was the one who went to the sidelines and grabbed Luis Diaz's shirt, turned to all four corners of the stadium to celebrate and go, "We're with you here. This is a family." And it's just heartbreaking that he's not part of this family anymore, because he has been such a big part of the Liverpool squad over the past 5 years. He doesn't always start, but you could always rely on him for a goal. Yeah. That beaming smile, like I've said, it's heartbreaking. We're not going to see it again.
Yeah, look, Jurgen Klopp clearly thought he was something special. The fans took to him very quickly. Just finally, Theo, how will the fans and how will the club remember Diogo Jota?
They'll remember him as one of the club's finest finishers in Premier League history. It goes a long way to say that there are many that consider him a better finisher than Mohamed Salah, and this is a player who's scoring 20, 30 goals year after year after year. The only reason we haven't seen those levels from Jota is unfortunately because of injury, but when he was fit and when he was on the pitch, he was scoring big goals. We only need to look back a couple of months for his last goal on a Liverpool shirt, a superbly taken winner in the Merseyside derby. He is a player Liverpool supporters will never forget, with one of the most popular chants that the club's had in recent years. Right. It's going to be rather more poignant now when that's sung by them. But yeah, it is a club icon, a modern hero. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. Everyone's in shock. Like Liverpool got their first friendly in 10, 11 days against Preston North End, and you can only imagine what the scenes will be like there, with the club having to be back in action so soon after this tragic loss.
Yeah. Well, listen, Theo, thank you very much for talking to us. I'm sorry it's in these circumstances. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Champion. Greg Milam, Sky News, Liverpool.
Well, our national correspondent Tom Parmenter is at Anfield for us. And Tom, just give us a sense of the scene there this evening.
All day we've seen a great feeling of disbelief, of shock and of grief for the loss of someone who was so popular at this football club. A very talented young man, but someone who also brought so much more to this city. Diogo Jota, the number 20, as he is so affectionately known as, and that is something that will inevitably, I think, be part of his legacy. And we've seen so many shirts with the number 20 on laid behind us. They're actually running out of space on the grass here next to the main stand at Anfield. So many people have wanted to come through the course of today, and we've seen so many children in the last few hours after school just wanting to come and lay their shirt or lay their scarf alongside the many, many tributes that cover this part of the ground outside Anfield now. A book of condolence has been opened up as well, both a physical book and also a digital one by Liverpool Football Club. And we've heard tributes from the world of football today, from rival clubs, from players of all standings throughout the game. And we've seen many fans down here in tears this evening. We have also, though, seen moments of celebration of the contribution that Diogo Jota made to this football club over the last 5 years. And there was a rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone, and then a local musician performed the Jota song, as it is known, a really famous, cherished song chanted on the terraces here and wherever Liverpool Football Club play, because Diogo Jota was one of those players who had that real connection with the fans. Let's just take a listen into what we heard outside Anfield just a few minutes ago.
Oh, he wears a number 20. He will take us to victory. And when he's running down the left wing, he looks inside and scores for LFC. He's the man from Portugal, better than Figo, don't you know? Oh, his name is Diogo. He's a man from Portugal, wears a number 20.
And I think that song will be part of Diogo Jota's legacy. We've seen, as I say, tributes from across the footballing world today, from Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund. The list, it seems, is never ending. And we've seen a flow of people coming to just spend a few moments reflecting on that horrific news that people struggled to take in when it broke earlier this morning. And while there will be inevitably discussion as to what his legacy should look like here and how he should be remembered, today I think is just a moment to stop, pause and reflect on the contribution that he made, a footballing tragedy, but more importantly a family tragedy, given the summer that Diogo Jota had been experiencing with the national team, with Liverpool winning the Premier League here just a few weeks ago, and as we all know, getting married just 11 days ago with his 3 young children by their side, all taken away from that family in the passage of a few seconds perhaps on that motorway in northwestern Spain. A real extraordinary change for people to try to get their heads around today, and a lot of people remembering the good times and reflecting on the extraordinarily sad circumstances of his passing.
Well, now we have a statement from the current Liverpool manager, Arne Slot. Let's go back to Tom Parmenter, who is at Anfield for us this evening. Tom.
It's a lengthy statement from the head coach here at Anfield, Arne Slot, who, of course, has made such an extraordinary impression in the first year or so that he has been here, taking over from Jurgen Klopp. And in the last few moments, he has released a statement trying to sum up his feelings at this really difficult time. He's talked of the shock and pain being incredibly raw. He said, "My first thoughts are not those of a football manager. They're of a father, a son, a brother and an uncle, and they belong to the family of Diogo and Andre Silva, who have experienced such an unimaginable loss. My message to them is very clear," Arne Slot says. "You will never walk alone. The players, the staff, the supporters of Liverpool Football Club are all with you. And from what I have seen today, the same can be said of the wider family of football. For us as a club," he goes on, "the sense of shock is absolute. Diogo was not just our player. He was a loved one to all of us. He was a teammate, a colleague, a workmate, and in all of those roles, he was very special." He goes on to say, "I could say so much about what he brought to our team, but the truth is everyone who watched Diogo play could see it. Hard work, desire, commitment, great quality, goals, the essence of what a Liverpool player should be. The last time we spoke," Arne Slot says, "I congratulated Diogo on winning the Nations League with Portugal and wished him luck for his forthcoming wedding. In many ways, it was a dream summer for Diogo and his family, which makes it all the more heartbreaking that it should end like this." And finally, Arne Slot says, "We need everyone at the club to stand together and to be there for one another. We owe this to Diogo, to Andre Silva, to their wider family and to ourselves. When the time is right, we will celebrate Diogo Jota. We will remember his goals and we will sing his song. For the time being, we will remember him as a unique human being and mourn his loss. He will never be forgotten." The head coach, Arne Slot, trying to sum up the feeling of emotion and grief that so many people here have been feeling through the course of today. the sea of scarves and people coming to lay their own tributes has just been growing ever since that news broke this morning. And I think the head coach of Liverpool really summing up so many people's thoughts today, that this was a good guy, a good professional footballer who brought so much to this club in the 5 years that he was here. And the world of football has been paying tribute to him and his brother today after that horrific crash on the motorway in northwestern Spain overnight.
Yes, Tom, thank you very much. And they are remarkable pictures from the helicopter there at Anfield, just capturing the scarves and the flowers and the tributes and the people just standing there and, well, I can imagine in just total shock. This was a young player in the prime of his life, the prime of his career. He got married last month, 3 children, and it is a devastating blow to the football club and, of course, to his family and friends.